My plan was to make a video to help beginning photographers and photographers that want to build their portfolio find models to use. But after my last session with a model, and this happens so many times when a model comes in, this first time I met them, and I hear the horror stories, the absolute positive horror stories with their interactions with other photographers, be it prior to the shoot or during the shoot. And I want to tell you that, you know, if you're a photographer that started out and bought a camera to meet girls, meet women, stop. This is not a dating site. And it affects every photographer out there. It affects how people see us, how the industry is viewed in a whole. Being inappropriate before, during, after a shoot is not okay. You know, I'm sorry, but you know, not to burst your ego, no matter how good you are, 99.99% of the people that come to you aren't there to date you. They're there to get photos. You know, it's really sad that this even has to be said, but any level of inappropriateness, any level, whether it's sexual or non-sexual, is not okay. And it will be talked about. This model that I'm speaking of, never even shot with this guy, but you know, the 20 emails and texts that she received prior to the shoot that she didn't go to were all about her being naked in the photos. You know, if someone calls you to shoot nude or partial nude or whatever hell you want to call it, great. Make sure they have someone there with them at all times. Make sure you never shoot alone, which you shouldn't do in any case whatsoever. But don't browbeat a woman or a man to shoot inappropriately for them if they don't want to do that. If they didn't ask you to do that, it's not your responsibility to bring it up. You know, a key thing with shooting, and especially when you start out and you're building your portfolio, and so many models ask, you know, what do you want me to wear? You know, my response every single time is, you wear what makes you feel beautiful and what you're comfortable in. That's it. Let them pick their outfits. Don't you pick I don't care if you're doing, you want to do a stylized shoot, do a stylized shoot, but put it out there in the beginning. This is exactly what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, and this is why we're doing it. And 90% of the time, that should be a paid shoot to the model. You know, I love when I hear photographers say, well, they should just want to shoot because they're getting pictures. Well, you know, it goes both ways. Models deserve to be paid for those types of shoots because you're using their talent and you're going to post it on your social media to promote and advertise yourself. So you deserve to be paid, but they don't. It just doesn't make sense. You know, when you collaborate with a model and you're both there to build your portfolio, whether you're just starting out or just want to update, you know, that's great. You know, you both benefit from it. But the second you say, hey, we're doing a stylized shoot and this is what you're going to wear and this is how we're going to shoot, number one, they deserve to be paid because they are working for you at that point. They're working to help you create what you want to create. And they're a model at that point that needs to be paid. I know none of you want to hear this because, God forbid, somebody else makes money besides yourself. And I don't mean to sound so negative, but I'm really sick of the industry and how a choice few photographers treat the people they shoot. I'm trying to be as soft and kind as possible. And it's hard. But in that sense, take a step back. And I know you've heard this before, and it may be old. And treat every model like she's your daughter or son. Period. And treat them better than that. Because we're sarcastic with our kids and kind of blunt sometimes. But treat them better than they're your own children, because they are someone's children. I need to push across that just respect your models. Respect them. Now, in that case that a model comes in and does want to do nude or perceived nudes, you absolutely positively never post their photos without their permission first. And I'm talking to the individual photo. Now, I know this whole, oh, it's my copyright, I own the photo, I can do whatever I want with it. It's bullshit. Okay? I'm sorry, but you need to ask that person. Unless you paid them and you have a full release, you paid them, you need to ask their permission. You know, it's not right just to throw things out there that may cause them issues with family or friends. Even if they post stuff on their own social media page, and that's not an invitation to say, I can post anything because she posted it or he posted it. You need to ask. Just take that minute to say, hey, listen, I'm looking to post this one and this one and this one. What do you think? Are you okay with it? Now, the backside of this, and I should have said this in the beginning, is, you know, most of the time, everything that you do, and I'm talking to the photographers that do the inappropriate or act inappropriate, affects the entire industry. It affects me, it affects you, it affects everyone, because they have this bad idea about what we do and how we do it. So, you know, yeah, we're angry about it, and it needs to be said, and it needs to be put out there. You know, so when a model comes in and says he did this, this, and this. Now, granted, I know there are times where there wasn't anything appropriate. You just have a pissed off person. And that's exactly why I have 2 cameras in my studio recording every single session, audio and video at all times. And every model is told this before we even start shooting. Hey, listen, the session's going to be recorded from start to finish. If you're okay with that, we can proceed. Period. I record everything. It's to protect me, because you just need one person to say the wrong thing, whether it was right or wrong. God bless it. You know, you need to protect yourself, okay? Because it's not always the photographer's fault. But when you read some of these texts and emails that photographers send models, it is absolutely positively shocking. I mean, it's just at a level I can't get over, okay? And I know this is going long, and I apologize. Another thing I want to throw out there is the flirtation. Now, a model may be flirtatious as can be with you. It doesn't give you permission to be flirtatious back, okay? You know, I know you want to mirror match, blah, blah, blah. You don't do it. Smile. That's it. Leave it alone. Because I'm going to tell you something. She gets her photos back, and she doesn't like them for any reason, or it doesn't look right, or guess what? That flirtation isn't flirtation anymore. My photographer was a pervert. I know it's harsh. I know it's bad to say, but it happens. This is both sides. This is photographer and model. Both can be bad. Both can cause issues. Okay? So you just have to be professional at all times. They're not there to date you. Okay? They're there for great photos. Be appropriate. Be respectful at all times. The slightest little thing that you think is just a fun, flirtatious thing that you say can be taken the wrong way. You don't know what's hurting their feelings or what's off color to them. They will smile through it during the shoot because they're in a shoot and they're uncomfortable. But when they leave that shoot, conversation's going to happen. So please, I apologize for this being long and drawn out, as all of my videos are, but I just want you to click this in. 100% professional at all times. A video when you can. Ask permission before you post. These are critical things that you need to learn. Just respect your models.